What's up, guys? In today's video, we are going to be simulating the entirety of the 2025 NFL season. We're taking over as Nick Sirianni on the Philadelphia Eagles. We're not going to be touching the team. We're not going to be doing any of the games or anything like that. This is purely a simulation to see what EA and Madden think will happen in the 2025 NFL season. Before we get into the video today, YouTube is telling me over 90% of the people watching my videos are not subscribed currently. So if you're not, please go click the subscribe button on my channel. It's free. Really helps me out a lot. Just hit 70 subscribers as I'm recording this. So if you feel like clicking that subscribe button and supporting the channel, please do, and let's get into the video today. All right, we are not going to waste any time here. We're going to head in and sim to mid-season, see what the teams are looking like, what everyone's record is. All right, at the mid-season mark here in Week 8, we are 4-3 going up against the 3-4 Giants. Have lost 2 in a row at least that I see up top there. So we can head into the schedule and check out what has happened so far this season. Started out with a loss, won 4 in a row, and have lost 2 in a row. So there's that 4-3 record. Have an interesting schedule the rest of the way. Not too difficult, a lot of away games. So hopefully we can turn things around here and get back into a good, solid position. All right, at 11-6, we have made the playoffs. We are a wild card team up against the 10-7 Commanders. Had the first overall offense in terms of points, 8th in passing yards, 2nd in rushing yards. Had a okay defense at the bottom half of the league. As far as injuries, Saquon Barkley is hurt. He is not playing, so that could have affected part of our season. We'll have to check out the stats and see how long he was out. We did win the division, only good for 3rd in the NFC. Looks like the Niners at 12-5 ended up winning the NFC and getting the #1 seed. We can check out the playoff bracket here and look at what we have. So really the only shock in the NFC is probably going to be the Falcons for me. I could see the Seahawks with Sam Darnold being a playoff team. I could see easily the Vikings being a playoff team. I think that people underestimate what J.J. McCarthy is going to be able to bring to that Vikings squad that's already incredibly talented. In the AFC, we have the Titans with Cam Ward as a rookie getting the 3rd seed. The Broncos at the 5 is about where they should be. I think the Bills will end up getting the #1 seed if it's not the Ravens. I don't think the Chiefs get the 1 seed this season. I think they're in the 2 or 3. The Raiders, my Raiders, are the #7 seed, so we snuck in there. So that is interesting to see. I don't think we're going to be able to beat Baltimore, but you never know. So the first round buys are the Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. So let's get in here and go ahead and check out the stats real quick. Jalen Hurts had 33 touchdowns, 7 picks, completed 73% of his passes for almost 3,800 yards. That's an incredible season from Jalen Hurts. That is MVP level. If it were not for our team record, I think he'd be easily the MVP. Saquon had 1,300, almost 1,400 yards and 19 touchdowns, so he did not get hurt until probably the last game of the season. Jalen Hurts had 500 yards as well as 3 touchdowns. That is insane. Devontae Smith had 1,200 yards and 18 touchdowns. A.J. Brown, 770 yards and 3 touchdowns. Dallas Goedert and Mechie in there as well. John Mechie in there as well with 3 touchdowns. Saquon had 4 receiving touchdowns as well. And then defensively, we can check out Zach Bond led the team 117 tackles, 2 sacks. 16 sacks up the middle for Jalen Carter. Might have been good enough to lead the league. We can go back in here and check out the NFL stats. So, an interesting season. I'm interested to see what the Raiders' stats look like, though, because normally when they make the playoffs, I'm guessing Geno's probably had a good year, and he did 21 picks. So not maybe the best year. I'm guessing the defense probably led the way then. But Joe Burrow, 39 touchdowns, led the way with Patrick Mahomes. Only threw 3 picks for Burrow. Michael Penix had 21 interceptions. He and Geno Smith led the league, 17 for Justin Fields, 15 for Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers. Looks like Anthony Richardson was starting Bryce Young down there as well, 16 touchdowns to 14 picks. But honestly, kind of what you expect up top. C.J. Stroud had 29 with 4. Jaden Daniels 30 with 10. So a pretty good kind of metric as to what I think these guys can do in real life. I don't think Michael Penix is throwing 35 touchdowns, and I don't think he's throwing 21 interceptions. But he might be the outlier here in terms of stats not lining up with what they would be in real life. I think he's more around the 25, 26 touchdown mark and probably 15 to 16 interceptions. I think he will be turning the ball over a lot. I don't see him being so cohesive in his first full season as the starter. So I could definitely see Kirk Cousins coming in and playing at some point this season if Michael Penix does not live up to those expectations. I think the Falcons are kind of at the point now they need Penix to either play incredibly well or they're going to have to turn back to Kirk Cousins just because of the money on his contract. As for the running backs, Derrick Henry led the way with almost 1,700 yards and 14 touchdowns. Bijan up there with 1,400 yards, 8 touchdowns. Saquon almost 1,419 touchdowns, led the league. Christian McCaffrey with 14 as well. So you had 19 for Saquon and then 3 guys with 14 really leading the way. Kenneth Walker up there with 11. Where is Ashton Jeanty at? That is the question. Did I pass him? Or is he really just this far down the list? Dylan Laube is up with 100 yards. Okay, so that's touchdowns. Let's go to the yards and see if that'll make it a little bit easier to find him here. There he is. 967 yards and 5 touchdowns along with 1 fumble. If you watched my career sim video, which I will link right here for you guys to check out in the cards, if you have watched that though, you saw that over his entire career, Ashton Jeanty did not fumble in the sim that I did. I don't know if that's a glitch that maybe they just don't fumble in, well, I mean, he fumbled in this sim though. I don't know. Could be a glitch. Could have been just an incredible career in the sim that I had with him. But yeah, he had a really strong rookie season. I could see this. I could see him definitely getting over 1,000 yards. I think somewhere around 1,200 yards is going to be where his mark is. And I see double-digit touchdowns on the ground for him just because of the need with our offense. As far as receiving, Puka Nacua had a great season, 1,400 yards. Jamar Chase, though, 114 catches, 5 touchdowns. 1,345 yards. Leading the league was Puka Nacua, though, with 14 touchdowns. Devonta Smith had 18 receiving touchdowns. Kendrick Bourne had 18 touchdowns on the Broncos, probably in that slot role. And that should have, yeah, him and Devonta Smith led the league with 18. What a great season from both of them. On the defensive side of things, we can check it out here. Tackles, Demario Davis, not surprising at all that he led the league in tackles with 130. Jamian Sherwood in there as well. Kenneth Murray in there. Zach Bond, Tremaine Edmonds, Brian Okereke. Tackles for loss, 19 for Dexter Lawrence, 18 for Jalen Walker and Devon Godshaw. As far as sacks, and I was saying Jalen Carter might have been up there. He is up there, but not even close to number 1. TJ Watt, 23.5. Followed by 22.5 by a couple of guys, including Max Crosby, Micah Parsons in there on the Packers with 22 sacks. Alex Highsmith with 21.5. So really an incredible season from a lot of these guys to have a lot of sacks. Interception-wise, Jonathan Jones and Julian Blackmon led the league with 6. A bunch of guys in there with 5, and then it kind of falls off. All right, we did not make the Super Bowl as the Philadelphia Eagles went 11-6. We can check out the playoff bracket. Beat the Commanders, beat the Seahawks, who were the 5 seed, and then lost in the NFC Championship game 28-21 to the number 1 seed Niners. So both 1 seeds make it to the Super Bowl. My Raiders lost 17-21 to the Ravens in the first round. Bengals lose to the Chiefs in the second round, beating the Titans in the first round, so Cam Ward can't have a historic playoff run in his rookie season. Bills lose to the Broncos, then Broncos lose to the Ravens. Ravens lose to the Chiefs 17-10 in the AFC Championship game. In the Super Bowl, it'll be Chiefs and Niners. We're going to sim here and then see what it is. It is a 38-24 victory for Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. And not at all what I expected. I expected an Eagles repeat here. Did get knocked out in the NFC Championship against these Niners. So I don't see the Niners being this good of a playoff team. I see them making the playoffs for sure. Probably around 9 or 10 wins. I don't see them making a deep playoff run, and especially not to the Super Bowl. Mahomes wins Super Bowl MVP. NFL MVP is Joe Burrow. Kyle Shanahan wins Coach of the Year. Joe Burrow, Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year goes to TJ Watt. Did have 23.5 sacks, so really no contest there. Cam Ward wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, and then Jalen Walker, the edge out of Atlanta, wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. So not a bad season overall. Kind of some unexpected things. I didn't think the Chiefs would get back into the Super Bowl, but I guess in Madden they are just that overpowered. Obviously, when you have Patrick Mahomes on your team, it's going to be a little bit easier in Madden. He's just going to make more of those plays in the sim, especially. So that is the sim of what Madden thinks will happen in the 2025 NFL season. If you guys enjoyed this video, I know it's a really, really short one, probably maybe not even 15 minutes long, but if you did enjoy it, please leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.